Buenas tardes. This is always tough to kind of start after that jam, But buenas tardes, Alici community. This is Delia Perez, Director of High Impact Practice for the Latinx Education Collaborative, where we work to increase the representation of Latinx educators K through 12. This year, we're celebrating our fourth year of Latinx Educator Awards, and tonight we're going to have a live conversation with Joe Rojas, fourth grade teacher. Is that correct? Out of Denver Public Schools. So in just a moment, I'll have him introduce himself. But Joe, just so you know, we had about 200 nominees across the nation, and you were nominated for Latinx Educator Community Award. So get us started. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your role, and your journey to it.
Well, hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here with you. It is really a pleasure. I was impacted about when I received the congratulations email. Community, let me tell you first a little bit about myself. I am the 11th child of a family, same father, same mother. I know what you're thinking, same dad, same mom. And I was raised not only by my mom and my dad, but by 10 brothers and sisters that were like 20 years of difference. So when you're 10 years old, for example, you go home, you have 10 people in the house, you have 10 tutors. If you need English, if you need French, if you need math, name it. What do you need? You have a tutor helping you. So I have been blessed by having a great dad, a great mom. They rest in peace right now, not because they're my parents, but they did a great job. I wish everybody in this world had parents like the one that I had. I was given. So I learned that the one that gave you the most is the one that is requested the most. So I really know how blessed I was in the family sector. So I was literally, I was raised in a community. I had 70 aunts and uncles from my mother's side, 7 aunts and uncles from my dad's side my father's side as well. So it was a big family. You know how Latinos are, families are. So guess what? I had like 40 or 50 nieces and nephews. And guess who is going to be teaching them something, how to play this, how to play that, hang out with them? Uncle Joe. I had nephews and nieces that were older than me, that when I was 10, they were already married with kids that were also my uncles, and my nieces and nephews. So growing up, it gave me an idea, so you have to deliver some type of leadership. You're just a kid. You don't know, but you're just a kid. So the treasure that my parents gave me was not money. Was wisdom, was reading. My mom, this is a very interesting fact about Joe Rojas. My mom had me when she was 47, and she didn't know that she was pregnant until she was on her 5th month of pregnancy. So literally, Joe's pregnancy psychologically was only 4 months. And obviously, I was a chill guy, very well-behaved kid. She didn't even know. She was at that time. My dad was 53. So my dad 53, my mom 47. When I was 10, my dad was 63. So he had white hair. So in the school was interesting because they didn't say, "Hey, here comes Joe's father." They say, "Here comes Joe's grandfather." And at the beginning, I got mad, but I said, "You know what? My dad has like 3 times the treasure that they're giving me is about Joe. Sit down here. Let me teach you." And they were really interesting teachers about. When I was a teenager, I won't go there, but let me give you stuff that they had really interesting way of teaching you stuff like drugs, sex, and other type of things, and getting in trouble and all that stuff. Very interesting. I can talk a lot, but besides that, what I loved I wanted to study so many different things. I love psychology and I want to be a doctor, an engineer. I didn't know. I mean, my brothers and sisters, thanks God, they are all professionals. They are all successful people. They raise a bar really high for me. I'm like, oh my God, really? I'm not talking just to let them know. I mean, they know they are. All of them are in Costa Rica, my home. None of them dream to come to the United States. My dream when I was a kid, I was watching movies like Home Alone, say, I want to live there. Look at that house. Look at that kid. They're going to leave me alone. They're going to go to Paris and leave me here. They literally left me home alone so many times because I was so used to listen to adult conversation. I was like an old kid. I didn't want to go to school. I wanted to hang out with my brothers in their jobs and everything because I was learning. not on the class. The class exists because in the past parents teach their kids, but now because of the production era, you have to send your kids to somebody else to teach them. So that's how it started a little bit. When I finished high school, I said, what do I do? So I have this chance. I love languages, and I literally lived in the middle. I lived my country is very small, so I was always on the beach or in a touristic area. Since I was a kid, I started practicing English. I see someone like, hola, no, it's hello. Oh, you speak English? So, hi, my name is Joe. Nice to meet you. I'm learning English. Then I see someone else, another blonde person. Hello, my name is John. Wait a minute. Excusez-moi, je parle français. Oh, je suis française. Y ya empezamos like, hi, how are you? Je m'appelle Joseph. Bonjour. Y empezamos así con el German. So I speak like 5 languages. Ich heiße Joseph. Guten Tag. Y así seguimos con el italiano. Yo parlo italiano. Me chiamo Giuseppe. Y hasta me ponía Giuseppe. Y todo. It was interesting. So I was always communicating. Building community. It doesn't matter where you are, what you believe, what you think, what is your identity. It's man, you're a human being right now in the world. We love you. We want you. We want you to feel comfortable. I worked in tourism, so my idea was like making sure you're having an excellent, experience. Because I remember really young, I learned really young that it doesn't matter what they tell you, how did they tell you, but they're gonna remember how you make them feel. So when I work with my kids nowadays, I have a background of customer service, sales, getting irate customers, their parents, or complaints or whatever. So that put into the new, education. I decided to be a teacher when, I had the opportunity that when I saw teach in the USA, there's a shortage of teachers in the USA. And then I learned that being a male Hispanic, for me, it doesn't matter if you are male or female or whatever you consider yourself, if you are old, young, black, African-American here, or any race. You are my teacher. I love you and appreciate what you give me. But I don't learn that my wild card here, every single school wanted me for being a male teacher. But why? Mr. Rojas, listen, there's a shortage of male teachers, and we have an increasing Latino community, Latinx community, and it's rising. And they were like, they want to see someone that looks like them. This is what they tell me. I don't know if I'm wrong. That they look like them, they speak like them, and say, yeah, that have ADHD like them too. Because 35% of the ADHD kids, when they become adults, they still have it. But I don't think that's a problem. I try to see the positive thing. That's actually you can be thinking about different things at the same time. I make fun because in the past, that women are in brains. This is research. They can multitask. I remember my mom doing this and that and that, while my dad was only do 1 or 2 things. Very good. Sometimes I was like, man, don't talk to me. I'm driving. I don't want to hit a car. But then I learned that I can be like in different things. I'm talking to you and I know what is going on here. I need to paint this, blah, blah, blah. So it helped me a lot. I wanted to be a UN interpreter because I was always talking sign language. My name is thank you and everything. But now the UN find out that the speaker center in both languages of the female brain, that's why they started hiring more females. So the competition is so bad. If I want something female in the brain, I want to be able to listen and talk at the same time. So that's funny. But going back to teaching, I say, I want to make an impact. I want to be somebody. I had a great teachers. I still remember my elementary school teacher. Her birthday's on September 30th. I called her every single day. And she said, Joe, you became a teacher. I cannot believe it. I said, yeah, but I can't imagine. I know you as a student. I can't believe it. It's the same. And nowadays with all this social media, I became some type of reference as an immigrant for my country. I represent several companies. I sell there, I sell here, I go there for tourism, I bring kids over there, and my country is very small. So I'm like a minority in a minority, right? Because for many people, Hispanics are Mexican, from Mexico to Chile, you're Hispanic. And I talk to my Mexican friends, like the real Mexican, man, and I play with them, like, how can I be more Mexican because I am not? This is just a joke. And bro, and I know, man, it's not, I don't need speech therapy. It's that I speak like that. We don't roll our tongues in Costa Rica and say, we're not trying to sound American. We don't say Costa Rica, we say Costa Rica. There's a problem. There might be a problem. I don't know why we say it like that. They always making fun because I said tranquilo. Mr. Rojas, tranquilo. Cuatro, tres, when I'm doing math. What do you say that? Cuatro, tres, you have a problem? They go, no, I'm Costa Rican, I'm Tico. We speak like that. Puerto Ricans speak this way, Dominicans speak this way, and Mexicans speak this way. So going back to education, I thought a lot of different things. The classroom is the mirror of the society. Whatever is going out there, they bring it over here. We cannot afford. I believe in humanity. I'm doing this because I believe in humanity. You know that anywhere in the world, except maybe Finland, you don't find high-paying jobs as a teacher. So if you go to New York, you're gonna make more money, but you're gonna spend more money. Same thing. You go to Mexico, maybe like make less, blah blah blah. So the bottom line is like I can't do this. I like that. I came here when I was 35 years old. I have I have long hair. I have this beach mindset in my mind. How people with a lot of drama, a lot of chaos, a lot of things say, "What are you doing there?" Like I don't know. Maybe I saw the news and I saw the movies, and I wanted to be there. So I took this job in North Carolina in a high school African American community, around 500 students. Latino students, Latinx students, and I created the Latino. And back in the day, we used Latino Alliance Club. Nowadays, it will be named Latinx Alliance Club. It was alliance because you didn't have to be a Latino, but we have African Americans, and we have a lot of people also from Asians that they were, for example, Vietnamese people or any other people from Asia. Their group was less. I decided to make a community because, for example, if we have like 50 people from Honduran, and there's a new kid every single day. There was a new kid. We have a welcome committee. How come you feel lonely when there are like 50 other kids that are exactly from you and people their places, and some of them live like some blocks away from each other? They developed that. That was high school. I said, guys, this is every time I find information, I start using it in like how I can serve the community. This is the community that I serve. Now I understand. I learn words like advocacy. I advocate for you. If I don't do it, for example, when I'm in a teacher's meeting and they show me, Mr. Rojas, you know that Latino, and especially female Latinos, male Latinos are dropping in high school because they want to go to work. And I talked to them, and I talked to Jeffrey Hernandez. He said, my name is Jeffrey Hernandez, and who got in trouble because he was throwing something in the bathroom and saying, man, you're an artist. What do you want to be? And he could be an architect. For example, he could be an engineer. He could own a F-150 with Hernandez Construction with a white helmet. That's how I picture it. You're 16, but we're going to have this conversation in 10 years, and you're going to be that big guy. And the parents said, Mr. Rojas, in Spanish, mi hijo dice que ya no quiere volver. And he's like, why? And, he says that the law said that if you're 16, you can drop school and your parents can't do anything. And I said, can I talk to you? I'm not going to talk to you as a teacher, as a principal, as a nobody. I'm going to talk to you as a parent. Imagine this conversation in 10 years. What are you going to do? Do you know how much money you have invested? Just remember how much suffering you have. I mean, how many things you have suffered to be here right now. Invested in education. Remember when you came to this country, the things that he and everybody else suffered. If you take him out because he wants a pair of Jordans and he wants an iPhone, just because of that, because he wants to go to work. So man, let's be better right now and invest in his education. Besides, I used to drive the limousine because a friend of mine, Mexican, had 5 limousines, and I said, hey, give me a limousine. You know what? I have leads. I know pretty much this is cool and this, do you know how many quinceañeras are turning 15 years old? I have their phone number, each 14-year-old, and trust me, man, they're going to call me. So I was Mr. Rojas Monday through Friday, and then when they were all dressed up and ready to go, and Mr. Rojas, sos el chofer, hey, play this music, blah, blah, blah. So they had a great time because I used to be a DJ, so I played their music. They had a great time. Hey, guys,
wow.
Rock, blah, blah, blah. So I was a limousine. Then I learned what I got the CLD, the commercial driver's license, to kid those kids. It was not take them to party. It was to get the seniors students, my male and female seniors students in general, to go to colleges in North Carolina, the UNC, University of North Carolina, driving a bus And I can tell you, when I took them to the whole university and say, guys, if you're a senior, you're gonna spend my time in Spanish or in English because I was a heritage Spanish. Say, guys, you're gonna get out of
Mhm.
here in less than a year. I need you to get a scholarship. I'm happy we got a full ride scholarship for Leslie. She's from Guatemala. She was the Spanish Honor Society president. She played soccer and she got full ride to study medicine. One, the most intelligent girl in
Nice.
that moment. uh, that's rewarding. I don't know if I made $30,000 a
Mm.
month, 50,000 or $50,000 that year. I don't care.
Yes.
Money is spent. It doesn't matter. The more you make, the more you spend. So I was like, man, that makes me
Mhm.
so happy because I'm driving. We don't have a driver. I drive the bus, and sometimes, yeah, it makes a lot of sense. That was in North Carolina. Then I came on a visa, and I could extend it for 2 more years, but then Colorado came up. A friend of mine did the same thing. He moved here, another countryman from Costa Rica. He helped me, and then DPS hired me 3 years ago. And it was very interesting because I was for an H-1B visa and taking the opportunity. Man, you don't want it, I take it. I take it. And here on the DPS, but not in high school, not in middle school. And I started noticing that a lot of things back in our days, things that happen in high school, now they happen in middle school. So they need some guidance. Who am I to guide the new generations? What should I know? What should I tell them? What should be my role? Like, it's not working only on them, but working on me. Because one of the reasons that I will ask about this is that the best teacher they have, the more nominations, the more prizes, they celebrate it. I told them, hey
Mhm.
guys, wish me luck, Mr. Rojas, because I told them, guys, wish me luck because I have a meeting. Remember the thing that I mentioned a couple of days ago before you went to Thanksgiving? Sir, you're going to get it. I'm reading a book that my former war principal from Harding University in North Carolina, he rest in peace. He passed away from a heart attack. He was awesome. He believed in me. He believed in me more than I believed in me. Like, I have no idea. I just took the job. I'm a challenge person. I'm an adventure person. I'm gonna come and say, worst in the scenario, come back to my island. I'm gonna go back to my beach, and that's it. He gave me a book
Mhm.
that's called Teach Like a Champion. Have you ever seen it? I still have it here.
Yes.
He gave it to me. Very basic, but very good. I just put it here to
Mhm.
remember, gentlemen, that he came here because we have angels in this profession.
Mm.
I put it here. One student said, Mr. Rojas, why are you reading that? Well, and it's, because I want to be a champion one day. He told me, Mr. Rojas, you are already a champion. You are our champion. Man, that's rewarding. That's not $100,000 in your pocket. That's rewarding because the kids tell you. So I started knowing who I play for, who I show up for with a great and a positive attitude on Monday morning. And guys, are there any teachers here? I'm in the school. Teachers hate that
Mhm.
Mr. So happy with the same attitude he has on a Friday at 3 o'clock. He had the same attitude on a Monday at 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock. Why? Because this country, or I mean, the society in general, shows you that you have to be stressed, you have to be tense, you have to be hating your job. Let me tell you something. If you work with computers or cars, or I don't know what your profession is, if you work, you're
Mhm.
working with human beings. The last thing they need in their life, these kids, is another stressed adult in their lives. Because a lot of
Mhm.
people have said, bye bye. When I started learning, I adore you girls and everything, but when I understand that I resemble an uncle. They made a funny uncle back in their country. A father
Yeah.
they don't. I know I am not. A father they don't have. They never met, or he left me when I was a kid. Because when I have to teach about the
Mm.
family, I can mention mom and grandma, but most of the times I should not mention that because that is in jail, deported, or somewhere else. And
Mm.
somehow when I'm dancing or clowning around, they say, "Hey, you remind me of my dad." So I was just starting like who I play. And I have my own kids. My son is 16, my daughter is 20. Raising them, I came here as an ESL teacher. I was an ESL student. My kids are ESL, so I embrace it anywhere. They need that person. They on Friday, I don't want to go home. When they say on Friday, I don't want to go home because I'm gonna miss you guys for the 2 more weeks. I don't want to go on vacation. I don't. Are they gonna open any summer club or something? So I started like building other things because we need to create community. For example, I'm gonna show you right now. I got the sponsorship of some vests, and I created
Oh,
now.
nice.
Now I am a soccer coach. Guess what? I teach how to play chess. I teach them how to play danza, salsa, merengue, bachata, all the Latin music with the culinary arts. Tell me, name me what you want. I wear all the hurts. So now, if you see over there, they gave me those goldies. I have my bowl over
Soccer
there.
ball, yeah.
Someone donated like 200 Gatorades. I mean, there's a lot of, I don't know what you believe, but they said that there's a lot of resources, but there are not a lot of workers. You know, I'm not a very religious person, but I heard that there's a, la mies es mucha, pero son pocos los obreros. I translated like, there's a lot of resources in this country. I mean, anywhere else, you might not find resources. I come from a place that we don't even have resources. They say, Joe, we have to think outside the box. Tell me, where I come from, we don't even have a box. So I don't even know. I don't think like that. I have to adjust to
Wow.
time and
Yeah.
management and try to fit. Say, Joe, you need to fit. You're too wild. That's why they love me. Do you want you hire me? And I try to be like this
Yeah.
in my first my first everywhere that I go. Because for the same reason one school doesn't hire you, is precisely the same reason another school is hiring you. Because they say, man, you're
Yes.
out of this world. Where you came from? Are you an actor or something? They go, no, this is me.
Mm.
And the nice thing is that sometimes kids have to learn, but in society, you tell me nowadays we need to unlearn a lot of things that society are telling us because we've been
Yes.
wired and produced like you have to do this and this and this and that. Okay, you have to
Mhm.
drive this way, you gotta do it this way. But I mean, there's a lot of creativity that we're killing from these kids. That's why I wanted to move to this year, started working on elementary school because those kids, they love the energy, they love the clowning around, they love they but not only that, I mean, they in science, for example, you want me to read this book and blah blah blah, man, put that book about the crocodiles and the tarantulas and the snakes. Let me tell you, I live in that forest. Actually, let me show you a picture.
Mhm.
Actually, let me call my on Monday, I'm gonna call my cousin, go
Yeah.
to the and you're gonna see a real jaguar and real crocodiles. And if I could, I take a field trip and all these kids, I will take them to my country so you can meet. Nowadays, especially, I remember when I was in another school besides Denver Public Schools. I left Denver Public Schools. I was short of money, and I took ELD director. It's interesting because I speak several languages. You know, we Latinos are trying to solve like this in our community, and I'm like,
Mm.
I needed a job, and they were hiring Spanish teachers, French teachers part time. And this Latino was, hey, you know what? Give me both jobs. You have one teacher. You
Yeah.
don't have to pay the teacher. Just pay me one. I have a permanent job because that's what I need for the visa. And I teach you Spanish and I teach you French. And I know some Mandarin Chinese. You're
Mm.
not asking. I received something so I can make a workshop. And he said, hey, you have a
Mm.
license, CLD, culturally and linguistically diverse. Oh, yeah. People from all over the world raise me. I speak several languages, so I'm really diverse. I mean, I love diversity, man. And they hire me, but they pay me like a director. It was a lot of money. So when they didn't know New York, and they saw every single Latino, they hired me. So I was the ELD kids. When we review all the ELD language of those kids, there were only only three ESL students. They only had 150 kids.
Mm.
They look Latino, but they spoke English. They were born here in Colorado, man. They were like the fifth generation. You're just grabbing
Yeah.
kids with the now, like, man, when I told my kids, yeah, babe, stop speaking English, just talking in Spanish like your grandma, man, because if I don't
Yeah.
have, you're gonna fire me. I don't want to lose my job. I don't want to freaking lose my job. And it was very interesting. And that's why I had to move. But there's always something for a reason. I don't think they fired me. I didn't quit. They just say, Joe, the
Yeah.
budget is too high. You only have, I mean, we're paying only like $90,000. And obviously, I took it. I left EPS. Obviously, that's more money in my pocket. My daughter was coming to school, and I needed for high school and to invest in her in education, whatever. Now
Yeah.
I go to this other school, and now I was looking and I see the word hope, and then someone, it was interesting. I saw the word hope and I say, man, God, I need hope, esperanza. So then this is school that is online, 30 centers here. They were hiring for online school, and I showed up and they hired me, and it was awesome. A lot of refugees, a lot of people who needed to build a community. I'm the person who wants to welcome. I don't know where you're coming from this world. From you came here, you're here already in the United States in my community. No, I don't want to use something because lo que la mano derecha sabe que no lo sepa la izquierda. I'm gonna do something, but uh, thing is that we're one community, a lot of different peoples, a lot of different languages, and we need to teach them. The important thing we need to teach others, non-Latino, is we need to get educated. I mean, it's okay if you want to protest. We have protests and got some race in the teachers and everything. I belong to associations and I'm an activist. I don't know, a community activist. They call me community activator. Say, oh, I like you. Let tell me what make some noise because I'm very noisy. And but the idea is like, but
Yes.
okay, testing. But before that, let's get educated, guys. I can say my kids, we cannot afford not educating you. They say that this education is free, but it's not free. It's very expensive, but ignorance is much more expensive. Whatever you do, guys, and now we're talking about the Latinx community. Whatever you do, if you steal something or if you rob a restaurant or something, you're in jail. Whatever, if they see you, they're gonna think that the whole community is the same. We come here to
Uh,
steal. We come here. No, no, no. We come here to take opportunities and say, what do you want to do? So Sophia, I remember Sophia wants to be a doctor. Briseida wants to be a veterinary. I know this guy want to be a YouTuber. Okay, I know this is the YouTuber area, but tell me, what are you putting? What are you teaching me? Are you just a video game player, or you're teaching someone? Because I can learn a lot of things in YouTube. What are you teaching me? So I don't connect with the kid. I connect with his dream. What is your dream? If
mm,
for every single teacher, man, if you connect with a teacher, because I was a kid who my brother did a great job
mhm,
connecting them. What do you want to be? And we connect you and we teach you from there. Don't talk to them like they are. Talk to them like they could be, should be, and would probably
mhm,
be that person. So
mhm.
with your dream, and you have them here. They love you. They say Mr. Rojas is the best. Look at my wall. They drew me with long hair and put Mr. Rojas pura vida, blah. They draw me dancing salsa.
Pura
But
vida.
pura vida, that's what I would say. And I told him that that's like our mindset. It could, I mean, you could be, I don't know, I know that you probably have something going on in your life right now that you're frustrated, but we learned that we still have it. So what? Pura vida. We just lost against
Pura-
Spain 7-0 in the World Cup. Guys, we are dancing as why are you celebrating that? You look, man, there's nothing, but we're celebrating. And it's crazy,
Yeah.
but we're there. Now we beat Japan and we scored 1-0. We gotta play. So my kids are like, Mr. Ross, I saw you that you lost, but they love now Costa Rica because I talked to them about my country. I mean, I love all the countries, but this is where I am from, and that's what I'm going to tell you. And it is important because it's real. They talk to me about Mexico. Mexico is my third country because the United States, adopt me. But since most of my
Mm,
kids are from Mexico and I have never been to, and once I get all my residence and everything, I'm gonna go back and I'm gonna start. I'm gonna make a field trip because they have talked to me about so much stuff. I gained like 20 pounds, and I'm 20 pounds Mexican because that Mexican food, my friend. I don't eat anywhere else but Mexican. I don't know how to cook. So mothers are like,
Ni
how
gallo pinto.
my God, no, I eat Costa Rican, but this is funny because mothers,
Yeah.
it's like, my son's math low grade, and you say, you know how many tacos that could change, enchiladas, chilasquiles, sopes, and I'm learning now champurrado for Thanksgiving. That grade can change immediately, suddenly, but
Yeah.
I'm just and that's a joke, but they
Yeah.
bring you stuff because they have restaurants or they cook and they send me with a kid. My mom sends you this, like, oh my god, this is delicious. So I gained weight, and like
Mm,
when I came here, I was thin. Now I'm chubby, and the thing is that
mm.
it's like, man, you know what? I'm probably 20 to 30 pounds Mexican now because that's Mexican
Yeah.
food. I love the food, but the food loves me. It doesn't go. It stays with me. I say,
Mhm,
go, go. No, no, it stays with me. So um, going back to the community, for me, raised in a very diverse community. My brothers and sisters had different thoughts, and my dad said, "I don't want you to be like any of your brothers. I want you to be for you. I don't want you to study any that they studied. That's their life. I want you to study what you want, and I want you to live with passion because it doesn't." My dad lived
mm,
years old, and he was like, "It doesn't matter how many years you lived. The idea is that it's not how much time, it's how you live. Because a lot of people exist, but they're not living. He was 92. He had this fun spirit, like young person.
Mm.
He worked. He ended up working. He said, "In the moment that I'm in that rocking chair, I'm gonna start like losing myself. I'm gonna die." So he was like 70 years old, working with the brain of a 50-year-old man. Well, a 50-year-old
Oh,
man in the back.
wow.
50, yeah. He worked. He had like several jobs. He had to raise 11 kids. He has to work besides working. When you meet a person, you're meeting his example of life in front of you. 65 years of marriage and 11 kids. So you're seeing my dad. I'm here with my ancestors right now. My mom is here with me. My dad is here with me. My oldest brother who dies with me. My youngest, the youngest, well, not my youngest because I was the youngest, but the youngest of the girls, Ingrid. I had a tattoo right here. I have it here because I want to have it in
Mhm,
my heart. She was my
mhm,
psychologist. It was interesting because it was a kid. Joe, she explained to me, Joe, let me talk to you a little bit. I want to hear you. She always heard me. That was the most important thing.
mhm,
I'm going to tell you what you're going through. I'm going to tell you what your possibilities are and what are your consequences of each possibility. Now you choose. Imagine
mhm.
like a kid and a teenager. She's not telling me what to do. She was brilliant. She was like my psychiatrist. I didn't spend hours of community psychiatrist, that many people need nowadays. Anxiety and relax. I mean, come on, how come are you gonna be stressed on the beach? Come on. So this is what is happening. This is what you can do, and these are possible consequences if you see further. So that's why I teach chess, because you're thinking about whatever move you do is gonna have consequences, and it also develops a part on the brain in math that a lot of kids are not developing because most of our kids don't read, so they are being wired by screens. You don't read McDonald's, you see an M. So the society doesn't want them to read. Everything is an F for Facebook or whatever. Everything is so simple. Kids don't read and they don't grow with relatives who are reading. They have 10 years. Mom doesn't read. Dad doesn't read. Mom tell me, what do I do? So
Right.
he's low in reading. Mom, I'm sorry, but you read in front of her for hours and you're going to have a different kid. I read because
Mhm.
my brothers and sisters read, my parents read, and my kids read because they see me reading. I mean, when I married,
Absolutely.
I had all the clothes and I had all the books, bags of clothes, the books. I don't care. I need to read all this. So going back to the community that we're thriving,
Yes.
I tell them, guys, you are the future. Guys, you don't know if you're gonna be
Mhm.
working together or you are gonna be working for him, because tell me, guys, if you take advantage of this, there's a lot of funds. I tell them Hispanic Heritage Fund, where there are billions of dollars that you can know that maybe your parents don't know. And I say, guys, I'm not just teaching you for today. It's like in 8 years, you're gonna be 18. Every every 20 seconds in this country there is a person that is turning 18, a Latinx person
Yeah.
turning 18. That's the biggest community. In 2030, I'm doing, I know
Yes.
you read all this. In 2030, 4 of 3, they prefer
Mhm.
to speak English, but every day, as we speak right now, there are thousands, there are hundreds of people crossing that border, and they're going to come and they're going to see,
Yeah.
they're going to look for a community, right around. They're going to look for a
Yep.
community, maybe a church. They need food. They need this. So I say, hey, the pantries are here. I tell my students, hey, if they're well, but some of them might not. Say, hey, all of these places there's a pantry you can go. If you don't have a car,
Mhm.
I don't know if I send you the last one. There's a last video that my country gave me, made national
Mm.
television for Thanksgiving a year ago. They made a video where I was literally on my car, week after week, like bringing them for Thanksgiving the food, because I'm teaching the brain. The brain is not being fed. We're not feeding their brain, their body. I need.
Mhm. Mhm.
I'm gonna call you.
Mhm.
Hey guys, I need you to go to bed. Why do you care so much?
Yeah.
Because I care. If you want a
Yeah.
teacher that doesn't care, go to any other school. But if you want some
Mhm.
caring, I learned what a caring adult is. It's like, well, I care because they're humans. But a lot of people in this profession don't care. They're here because they were
Mm.
not successful in whatever they were thinking, and they have money here, but they hate their job. And I talk to them every single day, and I say, I'm sorry, I don't want that vibe. Get out, get out. I mean, I'm on my own
Yeah.
mundo, yo en mi propio mundo, because if I cannot impact you positively, I don't want you to impact me negatively, because I'm gonna go and throw it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You're definitely there for the impact, and you know what? The your community saw you. What a beautiful like journey, like beginning from your home. It's almost like you had your own soccer team slash mini school, right? Community, growing up with your brothers and sisters,
Mhm.
and then just that transition. I also have a friend who lives right now in North Carolina. He's also a Tico, a Costa Rican,
You know what's
and
I know him. We is it that in Charlotte or
I think he's in North Carolina. He came from Costa Rica to Kansas City, and then he went to Florida, then North Carolina. Alan Arias
Alan
is
Arias?
his name. Alan.
I
Uh-huh.
mhm. Maybe I know him. I lived 3 years in North Carolina, and I met. I'm not lying, like 1,200 Costa Ricans. I formed
Wow.
Ticos in Charlotte. If you go to Facebook, Ticos in Charlotte is red. I created with
Wow.
10 families, and we built it. When
Wow.
I make the first, ask him about the first Costa Rican, how do you call it? The first Costa Rican festival in Charlotte, where we had around almost 1,000 people. It was a community of one because
Wow.
a community of one. Since I was a teacher, I spent June and July
Mhm.
to celebrate in that community, to celebrate the Costa Rican community for the independence of September 15th. So I called BB&T. I found out that the BB&T manager is Costa Rican, so I need $2,500 there.
Wow.
State Farm. I say, who signs? In, I don't believe I'm less than people. The problem is that people see up there. I met the mayor, the sheriff. You know what happened in North America while I was there? Remember that law? I'm gonna make it very short. The law, like G687, something that if you look like this and you're stopped by the police
Yes.
doing something, they put you with connected to you with how do you call it? With immigration, and then you're deported.
Yeah.
We had
Uh-huh.
this Caucasian, not sheriff, major. And then we have in elections, there were other Caucasian candidates, one African American candidate. He said, you know what, I'm going to remove that. Okay, I'm not talking about races. I'm talking about when he said that, he had 17,000, 30,000 Latino voters who voted for him and made him the mayor after 14 times because the Latinx community, like 8,000 people marching in Charlotte,
Mhm.
voted for him and made him. So, what I'm trying to
Wow.
tell you is about the importance
Mhm.
the Latinx community. And when you have any
Mhm.
candidate, they want us to go and vote for this person, that person, because it's a big, big, big. I don't even call it minority. It's a big, a big community, 63 millions. And right now,
Mm.
I mean, I'm helping Venezuelans again. Some can't, a friend of mine opened a restaurant around the corner, and then I met some Venezuelans. My daughter works there, and these Venezuelans came and they needed beds and everything. So a car and a truck and everybody. So I like to know
Mhm.
who in the community, so I know
Mhm.
who I can ask, who needs and who doesn't have money, but they say, hey Joe, here is $50, $100, whatever you want, so you can help this person. You can help this people. I have had people in my room. I gave them my room and I left them my um,
Mm.
on my living room, and I rented it for several months. And I said, well, it's
Mhm.
money for me, and I mean, I don't care if I sleep here or there. So I'm not asking about what I'm doing, but a teacher is you cannot preach in the classroom if you don't practice it outside. You have to practice, you have to live it. If someone calls you at 11 o'clock because you have to go to the Denver International Airport and pick him up because he's with a bag, he Joe shut up. A tico calls me at 11 o'clock or at whatever time they get there. Don't bring him, like I got gallo pinto, chocolate, café caliente, lo que sea. It's my life. I don't even need to know him.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
he's Costa Rican. I take him, and now I want to, with this type of things, I want to connect with the rest of the Latino community, because I have to accept that I have been very nationalistic. I have been very like national to the Costa Rica, because we were grown like that. If I am in China and I meet another Tico, we're gonna be brothers.
Mhm.
I
Mhm.
always choose that I like you. So many people probably don't like me. Say, I hate you, man. You're trying to be protagonista. Man, I'm doing everything. You know what someone called me protagonista? Is the other supposed to be leader, because He told me, Joe, you want to be a leader? No, man. In Charlotte, when we had the hurricane in Puerto Rico, guess who was asking all the tickets for food and everything on my own car to put it on the plane that was going to go to Puerto Rico? The same thing with the volcano. The same thing with the volcano in Guatemala. It was me. And the same thing with Mexico had not a hurricane, an earthquake or something. Me. Oh, now I want to be the protagonista. Of course, because nowadays
Yeah.
you have they have to see your face. They have to relate you to some type of things.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm telling you. I came here as a teacher. I don't know
Yeah.
what opportunities your life will give me, because it's not only me. I mean, anybody, you and anybody who wants to be a leadership. There's
Right.
a lot to do. So what I say is like, I am happy, I'm proud where I come from, but I am thankful where I am right now with the people that are
Hmm.
around me. Meeting you is a great person, and but
Hmm.
I'm excited about where this whole thing can go, because once I become a permanent resident, 5 years I become a citizen. Now I'm part of this
Hmm.
community. I don't have to be born in this country to do great things. People that were born in this
Right.
doing anything. A lot of people, they don't even care. They wouldn't die for this country.
Mm.
So I know I was not
Mhm.
born when late, but once you become a citizen, they cannot tell you anything. You're a citizen like anybody else. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
but I
Mm.
don't want to be.
Well, I just,
Uh-huh.
I wanted to just elevate this comment here. Ivan Ramirez is our director of digital experience. He's just tuning in from our YouTube channel. He says, Buenas noches, excited to learn about Joe. Thank you, Ivan, for tuning in. And I think that, your story is so unique, but at the same time it aligns with like that immigrant experience of like why people come here. So thank you for regrounding me as a child of an immigrant, and reminding all the listeners that are tuning in or tuning in later, like, why we come here. And the impact that you have on your students is just so beautiful. Like when you sent that video of the kids running around and you just running around in circles with them, it was beautiful. um, so you've shared a lot about your upbringing and your journey to becoming an educator and the many different hats that you played. I think that is all in preparation and makes you the impactful educator that you are, because you're able to share from your own lived experiences, right?
Mhm.
Um, so data shows that Latinx representation in schools matter. What impact do you see yourself having on your students? You've talked a lot about it,
Mhm.
but with that, the question on why does being nominated I'm sorry, what does being nominated for Latinx Educator Community Award mean to you? So, what impact do you have, and what does this nomination mean to you?
All right. It's like when you're in the army and they give you like a star, they give you this and that, they start looking at that. Um, I want to do my work, and it's also like recognition, but it's not only for me. When you have a champion teacher, these kids see a champion in you, the champion that I'm talking, and I say, hey guys, guess what? I was the winner of this competition or that competition. So they start seeing that it pays off, and they're looking for whatever they want to do. For example, something that I do often is that I bring guest teachers when I know guest
Mm-hmm.
special guest to my class when I know that, for example, three want to be nurse, and they are three girls, Latina girls, and I bring a Latina nurse that is successful bilingual and it looks just like them. She comes with
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
and they see themselves, and she can tell because Mr. Rojas didn't suffer that or didn't attain that, but there's a connection. Right now, for example, half of my class want to be a soccer team. I just found out that one of the Colorado Rapids boy, Latino, who happens to be from Costa Rica, he's right now in Qatar playing with the Selección Nacional. He's in the World Cup. He's gonna come here, and I just talked to him and his manager. Say, I want to bring this guy here because I want to show him what I'm doing, and I want to bring my kids to the stadium, and they can see and they can try out and impact them. And not only them, but the family, the whole community. So this is what I try to do. And when if I get a prize like this, for me, it's really important because I don't want to say you start being
Mm,
somebody, but you see, you meet a lot of people with a lot of recognitions, and most of them,
yes.
sometimes they are not Hispanic. Uh, Mr. This, Mr.
Mm,
That, they got, and not only teacher, man, you gotta go to teacher, principal, Latino principals. I just met the, well, in Denver, we have Mr. Marrero, actually, he's Cuban Dominican. He is the superintendent. I want to
mm,
meet with him. I'm about to meet with him because he's really busy. And I also met a friend of mine that I helped come over here to Texas, to Costa Rica. He introduced me to the San Antonio in Independent School District superintendent. So you need to be playing with the big players. You need to be on the table. If you want to be part of the
yeah.
conversation, you want to be there. And when you send a resume, for example, it's not like Joseph Rojas, a math teacher, Costa Rica. I mean, he was the winner of Latinx, this and this and this. He was the
Mhm.
winner. He wrote this book. He made this video. You need to show. If you know the media here, it has to be like some recognitions. That's why I
Yeah.
also, when friends of mine say, "Hey, somebody this channel called me. Hey, a friend of mine, I try to do this nota, I try to do this journalist um, thing
Mhm.
for the paper, and we thought about you, but somebody called me that, hey, you need to talk to Joe. He's a teacher doing crazy things in the mountains in Colorado. So, and now so those things, it's not like just to be proud and be like me, but it helps
Mhm.
you. It puts you on the spot.
Yeah,
I have a
absolutely.
I will share with you later on. I have this. I made this immigrant son, and I helped them write it with real. How do you call it? It's called Levantaré mi bandera. It's a song that is in my channel. I have a nickname Rocky Tico, which is Rocco, which is old, and Tico, which is yo soy viejo y soy Tico. So, but you're not
Mhm.
old. Yeah, but in 60 years, it will fit me better, and I've been 60 years Rocky Tico. So it's like a branding thing. But I put this little, I made this song with real Costa Rican singers and everything. It's on YouTube, and my
Mm.
saw it, and their parents. I want you to see their parents were crying because it talks about I moved here. And it doesn't have to be Costa Rica; it could be anywhere. But I wanted to do it because most
Mhm.
of the immigrant songs were not from my country. They're Mexicans or from other
Mhm.
countries. Not my son. We're very small. So I say I want to do very mine. And they say, man, I'm crying because he talks about when I left my family there and I came here for a better education and for a better life for my kid. So you're happy because you won the respect, you won the recognition. You're somehow distinguished, and every time there's
Mhm.
an opportunity to apply for something, go for it. The worst thing is that you don't win it. Nobody knows about you. You're nominated. Hey guys, guess what? I'm nominated. I don't know. One parent came with this, saw it somewhere, and told the whole parents because I talk to them every single day. I have them on WhatsApp. And
Mm.
guys, sign this, Mr. Ross. What is your email? What is your real name? And what is and I was, what are you guys doing? And say, and I saw you guys on Facebook or something. I don't remember. Uh,
Mhm.
and I was gonna actually send it to a couple of friends of mine because I was gonna nominate a couple of teachers, and we got this connection,
Mhm.
we lost connection. But bottom line, if you ask me, this is very important for me because um, in the moment that I represent, I play for the shirt. I wear the shirt. I don't want any other
Mhm.
shirt, but I want everybody to know that I'm a teacher, even outside, because if they see me something wrong, they will see a teacher. It helps me behave
Mhm.
somehow. It's not that I misbehave, but it helps me behave. The moment that I say I represent
Mhm.
this organization, you guys are going to be proud. I hope. Let's say I'm very positive. I'm talking like I see myself winning this, but if not, it's okay.
Mhm.
See myself represented and doing this and say this is our winner, and you're going. I travel around the United States because of my jobs. So every time that not my jobs, my side jobs, but that I have the income
Mhm.
that I do. So, if, for example, there's something in Texas or something wherever you are, or in Miami or anywhere
Mhm.
about teachers, I want to be there. I want to present. I'm working really hard right now because I teach my kids in other languages, and I'm writing it down and documenting it with the camera and everything with information. I want to do a TED talk and talk how to teach math in three languages. Because
Nice.
I teach math in French on Fridays. It's French Fridays. Mondays is Mandarin.
Oh, cool.
It's Monday Mandarin and French Friday, because I teach here English, but now I teach SLD, which is Spanish. Well, I don't teach English, I teach math,
Hmm.
but in English and in Spanish,
Yeah.
I teach the math. And there's a French kids, they chose French, so I support them. They're not my students, but I talk to them because they talk to me whatever they're learning. So basically,
Hmm.
sometimes I have a class with 3 languages at the same time. And they're fourth grade, they're learning math, and you don't need to, it's like an immersion thing. You don't need to be, they're super
Hmm.
smart. And I'm documented. I don't know, put it on the Denver Post or Washington. I mean, I have friends in Telemundo Denver or Univision friends, and they say, "Hey, come over here. Let's get a permission. Put it out there." So we go out about the same. We're trying to get be distinguished. We say, "Hey, man, you represent this. You represent that." So I think really thank you for this opportunity. Just talking, getting to know. Thank you for meeting me. Like, who is Joe? You feel
Yeah.
like you're not alone there in the mountains. You're trying to do an impact, but take it to another level. Like, I want to be even better. So when other teachers come and see you, they identify with you. Man, whatever this guy is
Hmm.
suffering, I'm suffering the same thing. Can I ask you? I want to work in this for many years until God wants.
Hmm.
And I see other people. I tell them, you want to come to the US, go and get an education. We need teachers. In 4 years,
Absolutely.
you don't do it, you're not going to be here.
Hmm.
How can I get, you always have this goal, I want to go there. How can I get a job? Man, nobody's hiring. There's a lot of people already here, man. You want to come?
Yeah.
I'm not suggesting you to come and stay or go and get paid $1,000 and become and study there and then get a residence, but nobody's hiring you. Become a teacher. You're making an impact in this country that is a
Mhm.
country of immigrants, whatever color you are, someone in your family, even if you're Caucasian, someone in your family, backpack ancestor, immigrated, and don't
Mhm.
tell me they came with
Yeah.
work permit and waiver and
Yeah.
visas and no. They come and stay. We already know the story, but
Yeah.
you know, advocating, representing. I don't like when people say misunderserved. Man, let's serve ourselves more than anybody. I mean,
Yeah.
serve. They bring food, they bring clothing. They're served more than others. And it's
Mhm.
actually, we serve you. You're not overserved. We serve you. What makes you
Mhm.
think you're better than us? So we really need
Absolutely.
to point. Thank you for what you're doing. Not for me, but whoever you choose. You're pointing the champions. You're doing something great because you're from the community, showing the rest of the country. Because normally
Mhm.
they talk about Asians. They go to study. They go to study, and
Mhm.
this is something that I always tell my son because my son goes to another classroom. I'm going to wrap up with this. Hey, son, my son, his name is Austin. His friends are Arabic, Indians, and Asians. The
Mm.
parents are like this. Asians help among themselves. Indians,
Mhm.
even Jewish people, even I see the Indians working together. We, the Latinos, have to be united. And I know we are.
Mhm.
This thing that you're doing, you're uniting
Mhm.
the whole thing. But the worst thing is that we believe that we're less than everybody. I know we don't, but many of them do. If a person sees
Mm.
less, that's not the problem. It's if you believe it. So you like, I'm late. Why? I'm Latino. No. Come on, bro. I need you to be on time. Don't tell me that you're late because you're Latino. You're selling yourself like that. Okay. Try to have
Mm.
another impact. And that's it. That's pretty much.
Joe, Joe, thank you so much for rewriting that narrative and really just reconstructing those limited beliefs and making them into beliefs. I hear it in your voice. I know those listening were also impacted. Yvonne popped in and said you shared a lot. You have a great story, and absolutely continue that passion, that love, that desire, um, and continue to shed that light out there. I'm loving it. It's hard to say goodbye right now, but we're gonna say goodnight to our community. So LEC community, that was Joe Rojas, fourth grade teacher, correct?
A fourth
Out
grade.
of
Yeah.
fourth grade teacher out of Denver Public Schools, making an impact, nominated for the Community Award. We'll find out soon who won. So
Sure. Good luck.
you have a good you have a good evening,
Thank you. Thank
and
you
good
for
luck.
that.
It was great connecting with you,
Thank
It was
you.
wonderful, wonderful. Un placer.
Pura vida a
Ay.
todos y enjoy your life. You guys are the best. Thank you.
Oh, gracias a ti.
Listo.
Chao.
Bye bye. Buenas noches. Adiós.
Bye bye. Adiós.